Good day and welcome to this YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to be talking about how we can display a table in a web page. So we'll head over to our code editor, and then the only thing I have there is this H1 with the text table. So I'm going to come beneath it and then write out the code for displaying table in a web page. To display a table in a web page, we need the table tag, and as the name suggests, is a tag with the text table. So write table and then click on enter for VS Code to help you complete it. And then this will tell the browser that what we want to write is a table, or what we want to display is a table. So between the opening and closing tag of the table, we will write T head. That is another tag, and this specifies the head of the table. That is each column, the title that each column means, and we'll see that in a moment. Then after that, we can go ahead and then write the title of each column using the tag th. And what do I mean? We'll write the tag th, and in between it we'll write the data we want to display. So the first one we'll be displaying will be serial number. So write S / and then N. That is serial number. The second, or for the second column, the one we'll be displaying will be name. So we'll come beneath the first one and write another th, click on enter, and then we'll write out name. And the third one, or the third title, or the column of the third title will be th, then best color. We'll save it and then go back to our web browser and see how it looks like. We have serial number, name, and best color. As we can see, they are all written in bold, and this is because we used the tag th. This is telling the browser that the words between the opening and the closing tags of this th is the head of the table, and in between this th is now the title we want to give each column in the table. So below the th, we can then come and then write t body, and this will tell the browser that this is the body of the table. That is the content of the table. So in between the t body, we'll write tr, and this represents table row. So each row in a table, what data do we want to put there? And of course, we need another tag which is called td, which is also represented as table data. Let me quickly explain it. Below the table head, we have the table body, and this will tell the browser that what we want to write now is the body of the table. Then in between the opening and closing tag of the table body, we have the table row. This identifies each row in the body of the table, and then the data we want to put there is going to be written in between the td tag, that is in between the opening and closing tag of td, and we'll put in the data we want. So the first one we'll put in will be 1, because this will be in the column of serial number. After that, we come below and put in another data, and this data will be in the name column. So the name I'm going to write here is Michael. You can go ahead and write any other name, and then we'll write in another data which will be in the best column data, and the data I'll write here will be the color red. We then save it, then go over to our web browser, reload the page, and take a look. As you can see, under the serial number we have 1, under name we have Michael, and best color red. We can then go back to our code editor to fill in more information. So we'll come below this tr column and write another tr, meaning we want to write another row. because from this first one we can see that this is a row. We want to write another row which will then be number 2. So in order to write another row, we need to tell the browser that we want to write a new row, and we do that by using the tr tag. So we come over there and start another row, and of course it's still the same format. We write another td meaning table data, and this one will now be 2 because this will be under the serial number column. We come again, write out a name, and I'm going to write Sammy as name. Come beneath it and write another data, and for best color I'll write blue. I'll come beneath the tr tag again, write another for another row to create another row. So another data also, this will be 3 as serial number. As for name, another data, I'm going to write my name Ugo, and of course best color is blue. So let me quickly change this blue here to green. Okay, green. I'll save it, go over to our web browser, and then reload the page. So we can see that we have a table head, which is serial name, serial number, name, and best color. Then we have the body of the table, which consists of 3 rows. And in our HTML file, we can see that we have 3 table rows, 1, 2, and 3. We have 3 table rows. And also in our web browser, we also have 3 table, which is wrapped around the table body, that is T body, which specifies that this is actually the body of the table. So it's relatively easy. You can go over it and practice some more until it becomes second nature to you. And for this video, I'll be giving out a challenge, and challenge is relatively simple. Instead of writing this, you can erase it or you can come beneath it to write out the challenge. And in the challenge, we'll write out a table consisting of 3 columns, and the first column will be the serial name, the second column will be the name of a flower, and the third column will be the picture of the flower, and it looks like this. So go ahead and try the challenge. Pause this video and give it a go. So how was it? I hope you were able to do it, and I hope it wasn't actually too difficult for you. If you were not able to actually do it, you can then watch how I'll do it, and then if you want to try it, you can also give it a go. So for that, I'll go over to my code editor, and then beneath the table tag, I'll quickly write an H2 heading, which will specify challenge. So I'll save it, go over to my web browser, and then check it out. Okay, so the challenge says I'll write a table which consists of 3 columns, which is serial name, the name of the flower, and then the picture of the flower. So for that, I'll actually need to browse so as to be able to get the pictures of the flowers I'm interested in. Mind you, you can pick any flower you want, it doesn't matter, but I'll be picking 3 flowers, which will be rose, hibiscus, and the sunflower. So I'll go over to my code editor and then write out the format I'll be using. First, I write out the table tag. In between it, I write T here so that I'll tell the browser that this is actually the table head. And then I'll write out the data for each of them, which will be S, N, and I'll go beneath it. I'll write name of flower, and then after it, I'll put in picture of flower. Then I'll save it, go back to my web browser and take a look. So it's looking nice. I'll go back to my code editor to write out the body of the table. So beneath the table head, I'll write T body, and between the body I'll write out tr, meaning how to start a new table row. So the first one will be number one. Between the td tag I'll write another data, which will be the name of the flower. The first one I'll be writing will be rose. Then I'll need a picture. So in between this tag I'll need to actually write out, or I'll need to actually be able to display the picture of the flower, and that will need me to actually browse for it online. So over to my browser and then open a new tab, and I'll write rose. I'll search for rose flower on Google, go over to images to quickly download one. I like this one, so I'll click on it, right click and then save image as. Let me quickly download everything at once so as I won't actually come back there again. So I'll save it as rose. The next one I want to actually write is the hibiscus. I'm interested in this one over here. You can actually pick anyone, doesn't actually matter. So save image as, and I'll just write hibiscus with a small letter H and then quickly save it. And the last one is sunflower. Wow, I'll go for this one. It looks more real. Then save images and I'll just name it sun and save it. So I've downloaded the three images I'll be needing. Then I'll go over to my web browser to make use of them. So in between the tab, I need the images I've actually downloaded, and this one is rose, so I'll be needing the rose.jpg. So in between it I can easily write the image tag, which is img, and then source I'll just put rose.jpg. Note that you can also actually use the link from the internet directly, but I just prefer downloading it and using it from my computer. If you use the link, no problem, it's still the same thing. And then for the auth attribute I'll just put in rose flower, in case if for some reason this does not show this text to actually explain the image that is meant to be there. So I'll come beneath the table row to create another new row. In between it I'll write out the data I want to be displayed. This will be 2. So hibiscus, and then I'll write out another image tag, and this one will be hibiscus.jpg, and then I'll just simply write hibiscus flower. I'll come beneath the table row to write another new table row, and then the data here will be 3. The name of the flower of this one will be sunflower. So I'll just write sunflower, and then beneath it I'll write display another image using the image tag, and then this will be sun.jpg. Then for the alt tag I'll just write sunflower. Then I'll save it, go over to my web browser, load the page, and then take a look at it. So it's actually displaying, but the flowers are actually too big. And from what we've learned, we can actually use another attribute to actually modify the size of the flower. So back to my code editor, I'll simply come over here and then write out the attribute. So first one is width, I want it to be 30, and also the height to be 30. So I'll simply copy it and paste it in the other two images. I'll save it, go back to my web browser to reload the page, and take a look. So serial name, name of flower, picture of flower. So it's somehow too small. Let me increase it a little to 300. I can do that by holding the Alt key on my keyboard and clicking on the place I want to adjust. And this will make my cursor to appear in different places at the same time. And with just by pressing a 0, I've adjusted the whole place I want. Save it, go back to my web browser, reload the page, and it's somehow better than before. And I want to make this table more looking like a table, and I want to add another attribute called border. So I'll go over to the table tag, the opening table tag, and then there I'll add a new attribute called border. And this border takes in an input, and the input there is a number. So I'll take in 1 and I'll save it. Now this border, as the name suggests, will create a border around the table, and the thickness depends on the value of this number given to it. So let's see that in action. I'll go over to my browser and reload the page, and as we can see, it creates a border around the table, and the thickness of the border actually depends on the number given to it. So if I go back to my code editor and I raise the number to like a 10 and I save it, I'll go back to my web browser and reload the page, and as you can see, the thickness also increases and is somehow being elevated. You can also leave it like this if you like it. And so we've come to the end of this video. If you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thank you.